zXDC's point-and-shoot controls. Hi, I'm Dave Cole, President of ColeSoft and Chief Architect of the zXDC debugger. This video will explain what point-and-shoot commands are, and it will show you how and where to use them in zXDC's full-screen displays. But first, before we get started, let me just mention that this video is high def. It is best viewed at 1080p. If viewing from YouTube, please select either of the high def settings, either 1080p or 760p. For more information regarding viewing and understanding these videos, as well as where to get downloadable copies, please see the first video in this series, Video Viewing Tips. Meanwhile, let's get started. This video describes zXDC's point-and-shoot controls. These are short commands that are used to display locations that are pointed to in some way by the fields in which you type them. Here's a quick example. This SVC instruction can be considered to point to the service routine that is called when this instruction is executed. So when I move the cursor over to its object code and type a question mark and press enter, I will see that service routine. Notice the point-and-shoot displays are always shown in the working window. This is so that the watch window remains undisturbed. Also shown is the actual format command that is used to generate the display. Now, this big, long, ugly thing, that's an address expression telling the format command what to display. In this case, it chains up to the service routine from the CVT via the system's SVC table. See Help Addressing for syntax details. Point-and-shoot displays are customized to the machine instruction, so this format command will vary accordingly. You see these white areas in the machine instruction object code? That's where you can put a point-and-shoot command to see the storage being pointed to. The white areas in data displays have a different meaning. They highlight values that have changed recently. In some cases, the exact position of the point-and-shoot control matters, such as with MVCL instructions. These have two storage pointer operands, so zXDC's point-and-shoot support will follow one or the other according to which operand it is placed on. For most other machine instructions, such as SVCs, it doesn't matter. It's all according to what does or does not make sense. Point-and-shoot controls can be either 1 or 2 characters long. There are 8 point-and-shoot control characters, and they divide up into 2 control groups. The first control group identifies how wide the pointer is. These are called A-mode controls. A question mark means 31 bits wide. An exclamation point means 64 bits wide. A percent sign means 24 bits wide. Clearly, this program prefers R13 to be considered to be a 31-bit wide pointer. The second group of point-and-shoot controls tells how the target storage is to be displayed. These are called display controls. A D causes the storage to be displayed by a display command. Notice that I had to throw in a trailing blank here. That's because the D control is not distinguishable from the D hex digit that was already there. And F causes the storage to be displayed with a format command. And L causes the storage to be displayed with a list fixed command. This will display the storage as fixed binary values. An S causes the storage to be displayed with a show command. A T causes the storage to be displayed with a list time value command. This causes the storage to be displayed as a date and time value. Point and shoot controls can be either 1 or 2 characters long. When 2 characters are given, there are certain rules. First, they cannot come from the same control group. Second, they may be given in either order. When only 1 control character is given, if only an A mode control is given, the default display command usually will be a format command. If only a display control is given, the program's current retry level A mode will be used for the default pointer width. When a point and shoot control is given on a data field, the position of the control matters. It also is important to keep in mind that there is a distinction between the width of the pointer and the width of the field needed to contain the pointer. The start of the pointer field is determined by the position of the point and shoot control's first character. And the width of the pointer within that field will be either 24, 31, or 64 bits, according to the A mode control character used. In this example, the point and shoot control is not correctly positioned, and so the result is the display of the wrong location. Now, here is what happens when the point and shoot control is correctly positioned. The width of the pointer is determined by whether a question mark, an exclamation point, or a % sign is used. But there's also the width of the pointer field to consider. The pointer field is 4 bytes wide for 24-bit and 31-bit pointers, but it is 8 bytes wide for 64-bit pointers. And in all cases, the pointer, of course, is right aligned within the field, with the high order 0, 1, or 8 fill bits being ignored. Let me show you an example. I'm going to put a 24-bit pointer control onto the start of the low half of register 13. This tells zXDC to use the lowest 3 bytes of the register as a pointer. So the high order byte of the address is ignored. For this program, that causes an OC4 since this program puts its save areas above the line. But that's beside the point. I'm just trying to show you how point and shoot commands work. Let's move on. Finally, D and F, when used as shortcut commands, will produce a display of whatever location a particular display line relates to. For example, when used on the PSW display line, a display of the location pointed to by that PSW results. Now, D and F are only 2 of 20 or so supported shortcut commands. You can watch the video named zXDC's Shortcut Commands for detailed information. Alright, that's enough for this topic. If you have any comments or questions about this video or about anything else having to do with zXDC, feel free to contact our staff directly. We can be reached at techsupport@colesoft.com or by phone at the number shown here. We also have a web presence at these sites. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.